Dan Quinn joined our friend John Kine from ESPN.com recently and spoke about his young rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels, and about the expectations that are placed on him. Here's the audio of Commanders head coach Dan Quinn.
I definitely understand, like, our fan base has been waiting, for the franchise QB. And but I also don't want Jayden feeling any ghosts, making sure he understands there's only one name on the back of that jersey, and that's for him. And I don't want any comparison or any of the other stuff. I think it was the Teddy Roosevelt quote, comparison is the thief of joy. And I agree with Jayden on that. And I don't want to compare him to anybody but him. And because he's still growing. And quite honestly, John, I can't wait to see who he's becoming.
Listen, I don't think you have to worry about any of this stuff. When Jason mentioned this earlier in the show, this kid, I don't think he gets caught up in that. He says all the right things. When he sees Doug, he listens to him and everything. But he knows about the history here. But he's just such a calm, cool, collected guy. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's out there chasing ghosts and trying to be the man. He said it on day one. I think the quote was, I'm just going to be me.
Yeah, I don't think Jayden Daniels is concerned with Carson Wentz or Taylor Heineke or any of the other guys who've come through this carousel of late.
I don't think that's not directed toward Jayden. I think that's directed toward you.
The fans?
Yes. I think that's directed towards Commanders fans, Skins fans. They don't want you to think about Robert and the 2012 run that he had.
When I've been watching Jayden, I never think about Robert Griffin III.
Or the
I'm with you.
Merry-go-round or the merry-go-round of
I don't. I think we got our guy.
He's too special.
Or even comparing him to current quarterbacks in the league right now. I think that's Dan telling the fan base to just quit it and let Jayden be Jayden.
Right.
Fair. I just think he's going to be excellent. I can't. If he doesn't want me to have an expectation, I'm sorry. I do. I just think he's going to be great. I mean, on some level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Is he bust proof?
That's pretty close.
Just say it.
The only thing the only reason why he's not is his spindly frame. I see zero like red flags as far as him throwing guys open, throwing in tight windows, being able to do all the technical things.
Just the progression.
To be able to ID defenses.
It doesn't look like
zero flaws.
It doesn't look like there's any flaws of him moving the team down the field.
Right.
Yeah.
But injury can kill
anybody.
Here's
where you have to be super optimistic. Just look at how different he looked in week 3 compared to week 1. Week 1, he was reluctant to throw the ball, would tuck it and run, just pick up yardage with his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And
look,
it was effective.
Yeah.
But that's not what
missing
every
stuff.
week.
And he was missing stuff.
So from week
we said
1
he has to dial that back.
He missed stuff in the game Monday night. He missed Terry. Like, that's going to happen. You're going to have
every quarterback
your bumps
misses.
and bruises, especially as a rookie. But the leap he made from week 1 to week 3,
huge.
It's pretty astounding.
I agree with you.
So
100%.
what's he going to make from week 3 to week 7 to week 10?
Listen,
like, that's what you're saying.
And it's obvious every team has to find that quarterback.
Yeah,
every team has to do it, and there's still teams trying to do it.
If you're saying, Valdez, that Dan is not directing this, and he's not worried about Jayden chasing ghosts because Jayden is so cool and humble, okay. And he was worried about it's impossible not to be excited and to have amazing expectations. I can't temper my enthusiasm.
No, I don't think it's about having expectations, but I think he's just trying to tell fans to just let Jayden kind of go his own road. You don't need don't compare him to Lamar. Don't compare him to other quarterbacks that have been here.
For me, here's the big difference, at least through the first 3 games compared to the last 4 or 5 years of Commanders games. The malaise had set in, especially the second half of the Ron regime, where on Sundays my mindset would be like, gotta watch the Commanders today. I gotta watch a bad football team, bad product, boring, bad defense. Like,
it got to the point where we're gonna watch a team that you know is gonna lose.
I was like, I have to watch the Commanders today, and it's just like you didn't feel great about it. Now you feel pretty great about it.
Like, it's exciting.
I'm like, I'm like looking forward to Sunday at 4:00.
It's exciting.
Yes, which is
As
what this
opposed-
fan base is needed desperately.
As opposed to, telling yourself, you know what, our quarterback play stinks. We're going to
Right.
get beat, 31-14. Just think about all the different quarterbacks that have played for this starting
I know.
quarterbacks.
It's a lot.
Dan Quinn's quoting Teddy Roosevelt saying, comparison is the thief of joy. And he's telling all of you guys, by comparing him to Caleb, comparing him to MVP quarterbacks, comparing him to other quarterbacks of the past in Washington, you're taking away from the ride that you're
I
experiencing.
didn't know that,
right
was,
now.
that was a Teddy Roosevelt quote, by
Yes,
the way.
I
I had
did.
no idea.
I actually did. Somehow I read that
The
recently.
only one I know is speak softly and carry a big stick.
No,
That's a Teddy Roosevelt bit.
Well, another cliche. You can't be extraordinary without being extra.
That's a
Yeah.
new one. That's a new
Yeah.
one in the pantheon.
Eric Bickle.
Yes.
Eric Carlton Bickle.
Yes.
All right. I don't know. I don't understand any of this. Jayden Daniels is a stud, and there's no getting around it. So I don't know what Dan's trying to spin for the fans. I'm not comparing him to Caleb only in the sense that I do kind of want him to be the best quarterback in this class.
Well, sure.
I mean,
Selfishly,
so,
yeah,
yeah.
you definitely want that.
I don't care about Robert anymore. I don't care
No.
about any of those other guys. Carson, everybody said, oh, you love Carson Wentz. No, those people understand the theme. I root for my guys.
Right.
I root for my guys. Now, Taylor, I rooted for him, and I really loved him early on, but I
You
got
root-
tired of the JV football
You
stuff.
root for the laundry. You
I-
root for the who's wearing the uniform.
Yes. People say, oh, you love Carson Wentz. No, I love the skins. So I root for whoever's there, and I am all in on this kid. Now, am I willing to say bust-proof? I thought my compromise was
Don't say it. Don't say
No,
it. Don't
here's
say
what my
bust proof.
I
Kind of jinxing it.
can't miss her. He's
Can't
a-
misser's better. It's
he's a
different
can't
than bust
misser.
proof.
He's a can't misser.
Well, that's kind of the same. You're just using different
Yeah,
terminology.
can't
I
misser.
like that you're using different
He's a
terms.
can't misser.
All right.
Yeah.
You got
That's
me. If
better.
you want to have something that you can
Hey,
mock
what
me
about-
with,
what about-
you got it.
You know
What about misproof? Combine them.
What?
Misproof.
No.
No, you can't.
Can't
use,
miss her. I like it. He's a can't miss
You
her.
He's a
can't,
can't
use,
misser.
you can't use bust proof because that has Robert residue.
Yeah,
You
that's
just
the
can't- you
stain
can't do
of
it.
Robert.
Yeah.
Or how
here.
about combine them can't bust?
No. He's a can't misser. It's a popular cliche, sort of.
He's a can't buster.
Yeah, can't bust. That's butt funny. Can't bust.
I
There
just
you
think,
go.
listen, I think he's a can't misser. So
Hey, and Dan Quinn's talking about it because, and I didn't hear the question from Kime, but Kime probably brought up, this team's been looking for a quarterback for years, 20 years. Now they had Cousins over this, so maybe not quite 20, but let's look at all the starting quarterbacks since Cousins left.
I just think
So of course Dan has to respond and say, you know what, this is a different guy, it's a whole different era. So we can't compare him to all the guys that they've had in the last 10 years.
I just think it's actually interesting that I have good friends that are trying to tell me, slow your roll. It's 3 games. They're trying to be all this measured whatever.
Didn't I think Tree, our friend Tree, he definitely did that on Twitter yesterday. He's
Well,
like,
thank
it's
God I
it's
don't
one
pay
before-
attention to
No,
Tree
but it
on
made me
Twitter.
laugh because he's like, slow your roll. We've been down this road before, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah. And then a random Commanders fan responded with a rock meme where he's like, shut up, bitch, which I found funny, made me
Right.
slap my knee.
Listen, I think you know it when you see it.
Yeah, you
mean-
know special when you see it. And you saw it on Monday Night Football. And hopefully he can keep replicating it and building on it. But he's not going to build on 90%
Yeah, but just to
completion
counter
percentage.
that,
Yeah.
to counter it,
Yeah.
you said the same thing when RG3 came in. You called
Yeah.
him RG Jesus or
Yeah,
whatever you called
Right.
him.
But I
True.
was wrong.
And you said,
but you know why?
so
I
that's
was
why you
wrong?
kind of have to let it play out a little bit more.
Yeah, but okay. But I think the differences are already obvious.
Mhm.
Robert was a gimmick. Robert was a one read, and I didn't know that.
Right. I was going to say, we
Already
didn't know
with-
that at the time.
Right. And,
Yeah.
and he could only, they explained to us the reason why we're doing this is
Right.
because, and it took us about 3 years to realize Robert just wasn't
Hey,
that
you're
guy.
you're
defense is
you're a much smarter football fan now because of Robert, and you
Sure.
can see it. You can see it.
Well, also,
We're
I'm
all more
seeing
savvy.
already
Yeah,
the
much.
things
You're much more savvy.
I am absolutely. But more importantly, the difference is he's doing things in already in 3 games that Robert never could do. He's going through the progressions. He's hitting the guys before they turn their
He's
heads. The comparison to Robert is the R word. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Hold on, the R word.
Wow.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Yeah. Well
I
done,
think
John.
it's.
Good job.
I think it's the dumbest comparison. There's nothing in common other than skin color.
And,
Well,
and-
they're-
Didn't you just say
And they're
yesterday
fast.
all
They're
he
both
needs
fast.
is to turn that corner like a Robert did and sprint down the sideline?
No, I
against the
just said
Vikings?
no. I said just that. No, again, you're twisting my words. I said wait until he goes for 80 yards because he has that in his bag. But his bag is so much bigger than Robert. Robert had a tiny little. You know when you go to like a computer store or something and you buy a laptop and then you see a little screwdriver mini kit at the cashier next to like bubble gum and like an almond joy.
Yeah, you can repair your
That's
eyeglasses
his
with it.
toolkit. That little screwdriver. While Jayden has a big ass Home Depot truck full of tools.
He's got like a Santa
saws.
sack.
He's got everything. He's got all the tools. Robert had just a little tiny micro screwdriver that fit one hole. That's
He's
it.
gonna be bitter when he hears that, and he'll hear it.
I'm sorry.
Well, he probably knows it.
Oh, he knows. He knows
I
that.
mean, they're just different guys. And so when people make that comparison, honestly, I think you're embarrassing yourself. I'll be honest. There's nothing to compare. This guy's light years ahead of that guy.